Hello and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something that's a huge part of being human, the way our friendships change. We're going to look at how our connections naturally shift and grow over a lifetime, and maybe find some ways to navigate all of that with a little more understanding and kindness towards ourselves. So let's start with a set of questions that I think really hit home for a lot of us. Just take a moment with these. Should we calmly accept that people create new close relationships according to their environment and interests? How do you think the concept of friendship has changed over the years? Where is the line between sincere friendship and strategic relationships? Wow. Those aren't easy questions, are they? They get right to the heart of things. Feelings of loyalty, a sense of belonging, and just wanting to be genuine. To get a handle on them, it really helps to look at this through the lens of psychology. So let's start by exploring why our social circles just naturally change over time. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about those complicated feelings that can pop up when we feel our friendships starting to shift. It's a totally normal process, and just understanding what's going on behind the scenes is a huge first step toward feeling okay about it. And this right here, this is so important to really let sink in. If you've ever felt that little pang of guilt because you've drifted from an old friend, or maybe you're excited about a new one, please know that is not a personal failure. It's actually a sign that you're growing, you're evolving, and your social world is just adapting right along with you, exactly as it should. So, what's actually causing these shifts? Well, think about the big changes in life. You start a new job, right? And suddenly you're around people who just get the daily pressures you're facing. Or maybe you pick up a new hobby and you find a whole community that shares that specific excitement. And of course, big life stages, becoming a parent, moving to a new city, they naturally draw us to people who are in the same boat. These new friends don't cancel out the old ones. They just give us the support we need for who we are right here, right now. And what's fascinating is that as our circle of friends is changing on the outside, something's also shifting on the inside. Our whole idea of what friendship even isn't set in stone. What we look for in our friends, what we value, it all matures right along with us. What's so interesting here is how this maps onto what we need at different times in our lives. When we're young, friendships are often about who's around and what's fun. We're trying to figure out who we are. Then, as we move into adulthood, that foundation shifts. It becomes more about real trust and support, because we need stability. And later in life, many of us naturally start to prioritize just a few really deep, high-quality connections over having a huge social network. It's all about quality, not quantity. So here's the bottom line. Carefully choosing who you spend your time with isn't you being antisocial. No way. It's actually a sign of emotional maturity. It shows you understand that your time and your emotional energy are precious, and choosing to invest them in relationships that are truly reciprocal, that truly feed your soul, well, that's one of the healthiest things you can do. This all leads to a really practical and sometimes a tough question. How do we even tell the difference between a real, sincere friendship and one that's, more strategic? Let's break down some of the key things to look for. This really spells out the basic difference in why the connection exists in the first place. A sincere friendship is all about intrinsic value. You care about the person just for them. A strategic relationship, on the other hand, is more instrumental. It's there because it serves some kind of purpose. Now, it's super important to say that these strategic relationships aren't automatically a bad thing. We all have them, but the trouble starts when we mistake one for the other. That can really lead to feeling let down or even used. So what does that real friendship actually feel like? In your gut? Well, it feels safe. Think about it. Who's the person who is genuinely thrilled for you when you succeed, with no strings attached? Who's there for you when things get tough, even without you asking? And this is a big one. There's a natural give and take. Nobody's keeping score. And on the flip side, a strategic connection can just feel transactional. So ask yourself, does this person mostly get in touch only when they need a favor? When you talk, is there a real lack of emotional depth? Are you both able to be vulnerable? Or does hanging out with them feel more like an obligation than something you genuinely want to do? Those are some serious red flags. Okay, so after looking at all this, where do we go from here? The point isn't to start labeling everyone you know. Not at all. It's more about developing your own internal compass, a kind of relational awareness that helps guide you toward connections that are healthier and just more fulfilling. And really, this is what it all comes down to. Accepting that relationships change is a huge act of self-compassion. The real key is to be mindful, to pay attention to the people who give you energy, who support you in becoming a better version of yourself, and to just gracefully accept that natural rhythm of human connection.
So the question I'll leave you with is this. Which of your relationships, new or old, are truly nourishing the person you are becoming today?